Here's day one, and I'm getting going, marking the walls out, laying the studs out, and getting the walls set in place. For studs, I'm using 4x4 post and a 2x4 top and bottom plate. I'm only using a single top plate for the walls with a 2x8 header on top of that. I was really limited on getting enough roof slope in this distance with the area that I had to work with, so I was just trying to cut back where I could. So I used one single 2x4 top plate and a 2x8 header on top of that in order to just gain some space for an additional slope. Here I'm adding the 2x8 header on top of all the walls. There's two 2x8s and with a 1/2 inch OSB sandwiched in between, and that'll give me 3.5 inches to be able to match the width of the walls. Now I'm just using my cordless nailer to tack the header in place, and later I'll go back with my air nailer because it nails much faster, and I'll nail the header together on both sides of the header. I'll put about 4 nails every 16 inches, and I'll stagger those nails on the other side of the header so that it's nailed and sandwiched together properly. So get the walls up. Still need to fasten them to the house. Turn the radio off. Got the ledger board up. Just put that up. The power went out and I had to wait to get the power back on. Or had to wait to find the right breaker. So we got the ledger board fastened to the house. That's gonna be fun to deal with, but I'll figure it out. I still need to bring this to the house. I'll put a board here and fasten it to that. But it's coming together. So this will all be screened in. Vinyl railing around the middle. Vinyl door. Alright, I'm back the next day to finish out the rafters and get started on the sheeting of the roof. For now, nailing the rafters, I'm putting them 12 inches on center rather than 16 inches on center because of the span. It is almost 16 feet, and per the code, the span will not allow you to put rafters 16 inches on center when you're using 2x6s at that span. So I had to put them 12 inches on center. So now I'm just nailing the one end up to the ledger board of the house, and then I'll walk down, climb up the other side, and nail that into the wall and start all over for the next one. Alright, the rafters are all up and I've started sheeting, so I thought I'd film this ladder hoist in action. I got this idea from another YouTuber, Terry Blunt, I believe his name is. He, I guess, probably invented this ladder hoist using a Harbor Freight hoist and a cut-up ladder to form the hoist. But so I took his idea and I made my own and made it work for me. So this is really helpful. It's a safe and easy way to get the plywood up on the roof. I've done it many different ways. I've tried lots of different things, but when you're working by yourself, it's really hard to shimmy a piece of plywood up the ladder and get it on the roof without knocking yourself off the ladder or the plywood falling. I've had all those happen. So this hoist really helps out, and it even helps me get the shingles up. If I'm doing the shingling, I'll use the ladder hoist to get the shingles up as well. So it works out pretty well. Makes things a whole lot easier. And if someone could throw my tape back up, I would appreciate that, please. I'm getting the last few sheets of this plywood finally nailed down and bringing it to an end. Here I'm just measuring out the plywood, laying it out to try to keep the joists or the rafters lined up straight. That's really important if you're going to, especially if you're going to nail ceiling panels underneath. If the joists aren't straight, then that'll be a nightmare trying to get the panels to nail correctly to the rafters. So here I'm just laying them out, laying out my plywood 12 inches on center, and then bringing the joists over to those marks and keeping them straight when I nail them. Using a T-square helps me keep my nails in line so I don't shoot the nails out the side of the rafters, and so it definitely helps. The lines on the OSB don't always, line up with the rafters, so T-square helps a lot. And I've shot through more than one T-square and ruined it, but they're not expensive, so it's worth it. As you can see, I'm trying to nail about every 6 to 8 inches in the field and 4 to 6 inches on the edges. Alright, so the last couple days I've been working and I just didn't turn the video on, getting the camera out or anything. But here's what I've got done so far. The vinyl rails are up and the roof is pretty much done. It still has to be shingled. I got the felt on, so got a good start for next week when I come back. Still put the rafter ties on.